This is Saltstraumen, the world's most powerful tidal current. Saltstraumen is a very special dive spot due to its incredible rich marine life. Both the current itself and the nearby areas are known for tons of coalfish, cods, and our main target, the halibut. So when I got invited to spend a weekend here with Martin and Arild, I couldn't say no. While it can be a fantastic dive spot, it can also be quite bad. After heavy rainfall all week, the water was brackish, green and dark.
Could have taken a shot at that cod, but did not want to lose my spear.
It didn't take too long until we found the wolffish, which is protected by law in the area. They are essential in the ecosystem to protect against an ever-increasing army of sea urchins here in the north, and I was more than happy to just take some pictures. We constantly moved around in search for fish. Suddenly I hear Arild shout for me. Since he has already shot big halibuts, he promised to give me one if he got the chance, so I got really excited.
Skal vi ta den? Ja, skal vi ta den? Nei. Ja, han har ikke noe beist. Ja, ja, det er fisk.
After getting a few fish each, I suddenly see this huge shape below me. When I observed this fish from the surface, I was so sure it was above the maximum limit of 2 meters, I didn't even consider shooting it. It was only when I got close I got a feeling it might be a bit smaller. And then, it's too late.
Ja. Ja.
Faen, du så en sværing, ja?
Å, fytti helvete, det var stor. Ja.
Jævlig kult, da.
Jeg aner ikke om den er 120 eller om den er 50, liksom.
Nei. Ja, når den svømmer her inne, så tror jeg faktisk ikke nær 120, da. Ja,
Jeg tenker jo 50-60 kilo.
Ja, dritstor! Fy faen, jeg ble helt satt ut.
Hvor var den?
Ja, fordi det første jeg tenkte at den er større enn meg. Men da drev han jo svømte rundt som en annen tulling.
Gleder meg til å se det klippet, da.
Jeg gruer meg i tilfelle dere er sånn, ja, den er 60, ass.
Ja, det gjør vi, kommer til å si det.
Det var det vi kjente å si.
Ja, åh.
Så sier vi
Men
uansett
faen meg
nå.
fett å se, da.
Ja, det var... Fy faen, så rått å se et sånt dyr.
About an hour later, we went home to deal with the fish. And, of course...
Men den er ikke ulovlig, nei.
Nei.
Den er 50-60.
So it's a new morning. This will be our main day of spearfishing here, this trip. I've been dreaming about my halibut all night long, of course. But luckily, the sea is completely flat today, and hopefully we can get to the proper halibut spots.
Faen, så gøy.
Det blir dritbra.
Det blir bedre.
Alt jeg har trua. Oi.
The visibility had improved and it was more light underwater. Still quite dark, but a lot better than yesterday. This spot normally holds large coalfish and pollacks, but we were a bit too late in the season.
Takk. Ja.
Despite the fish being few and deep, Martin also got a nice one.
Ja, det er ganske store torsker.
Jeg går noe.
Så...
Saltstraumen is becoming increasingly popular for fishing tourists, scuba divers and spearfishers. It's important to be considerate of each other so that everyone can enjoy this beautiful area side by side.
beite! Nei, han har slitt seg. Han har slitt seg. Faen.
This was definitely a bummer, and we had no chance to find it. Luckily though, it didn't take long to lift the spirits again. No more halibuts to be seen, and it was time to head back after a very successful day.
Du vet, jeg har fått litt fisk når du må ta med trillebår.
But with lots of fish comes a lot of work, and the three of us spent most of the evening filleting and vacuuming.
Dæven, dere er flinke.
Then our host and super guide Jørn made us a wonderful dinner with yesterday's halibut baked in salt. Speaking of Jørn, I really recommend him as a guide in the area. He has tons of boating experience in the current and can get you to the fish safe and sound. He knows the do's and don'ts and even has a changing room with a shower in his garden if needed. The wind the last day was quite rough, and we all felt a bit under the weather after having a drink too much last night. But we finally found a pocket of the visibility we had hoped for all weekend. We did a typical one up, one down to scat as much of the seabed as we could, and it didn't take long.
Jeg lurer på den jeg skjøt I går. Han har et skudd I huet. Ja, tar du andre skuddet på han?
The second shot is a precaution to make sure that the halibut won't tear off when we drag it into the boat.
Nei, for jeg drev og så litt foran deg, og så det plutselig bare at, ja, der er den. Nice.
As soon as the halibut was in the boat, we got straight back in the water, and finally it happened. In the distance, I saw a large shape on the seabed just waiting for me. I got to the surface without taking my eyes off the fish while trying to control my breath. After a couple of minutes, I just gave up and decided to go for it.
sånn 15 kanskje.
Arild quickly got the backup spear gun ready for me to take the second shot, and the GoPro died.
Ja.
Then it was time to head back to shore. After all, we had a flight to catch and enough fish to fill our bags. That was a perfect end to an epic trip. Even though both the underwater conditions and the weather was awful, we still got plenty of fish and a lot of fun. Martin and Arild, thank you for inviting me, and Jørn, thanks for keeping us safe. Thanks to Frivannsli for suits that keeps us warm for hours in these conditions, and spear guns that definitely do the trick, if you choose to fire them. Houston, we have a problem. Not a bad sight.